I'm Jeff Cook.
And I'm TJ Wilson.
And this is Around the Circle.
I'm walking slowly, I'm taking my time. All I like at talking is starting to rhyme. I'm letting go of lonely, letting go of strife. I just can't get enough of this beautiful life.
The Enneagram is a map of the human personality. It's a tool for navigating relationships, creates language for what motivates us, and helps us look at the way we look at everything else. Most importantly, the Enneagram is a mirror because sometimes you need help seeing yourself. My name is Jeff Cook. I'm a philosopher in Greeley, Colorado, and with me is TJ Wilson, businessman, lover of theology, and Enneagram ninja.
Hello.
You know what else the Enneagram is good for, TJ?
Tell me.
Starting off the new year.
Ooh, yeah.
This is going to be a very quick podcast, but it's meant to bounce you. For those of you who have just started listening to our podcast here in the last little bit, we wanted to fill you in on some of the things that are best about our work that you can find to start out the year. So obviously, we just did the typing series.
Right.
If it's the case that somebody has shared this with you or you have not yet figured out your type, we did a typing series. What's your favorite thing about starting the new year with figuring out your type there, Teach?
I feel like it gives a leg up on some of those resolutions that we're all going to set for ourselves, and maybe it'll help us get through to like April or May instead of quitting in February. Like it might help some to know some of the unconscious things that are preventing you from moving forward, you know?
Some of the best stuff I need work on consistently comes out of my Enneagram type, fortunately and unfortunately. Jump into the inner life of your soul, do some self-discovery. It's a good way to start the year.
Yeah, I think it's great. And maybe a cheaper way than buying a gym membership that you're not going to use.
Our stuff is free.
It's exactly.
So you could say lots of check marks, including not spending a lot of cash, figuring out about yourself. Come on.
Right. Perfect.
This service is amazing. For some of us who know our types, we did an extensive amount of work about a year ago in a series that we called Basics. In that series, we go hard into the dark side of our Enneagram types. So if you're just looking for something to work on, we got you covered.
Yeah. The shadow it's easy to talk about the shadow. So we did.
Some of us need to name our fears. Some of us need to name the things that our minds naturally fixate on. Some of us need to talk through how we engage substances and why oftentimes what we struggle with in terms of substance ends up being very specific to our Enneagram type. And we do a lot of work on that. And we don't leave you just sitting there being miserable in the dark.
Right.
That basic series is meant to move you into places where here are some of the places that you can get healthy.
Right. That's pointing out the dark, but it's not just like, oh, here's the dark. You get to stay here. No. We want to move you out of the dark.
If you already are familiar with the dark and don't need a refresher, we did a great set of podcasts called Liberation. It was actually a live conference that TJ and I did. But it's all about being liberated from the dark.
Right.
And we spend a lot of time on the positive side, moving through into what does it look like for us to get healthy.
Right. There's some great pairings with a song for each type there as well.
That's right. Just in case you want to do your Enneagram type and your mashup with our favorite Enneagram song for that type.
Right.
It's in there. Piggybacking on that, we did very early on in our work, we did a series called Health, the names of which the podcasts are named Liberation, Holy Ideas, and Creation. This is still really great information. It's a little bit higher level information, but if you are familiar with the Enneagram, familiar with your shadow, want some positives, I would love to suggest that series. There's some stuff worth jumping into there.
Yeah.
Lastly, if you want to do the Black Diamond level, and this is not a pyramid scheme, if you want to go to the Black Diamond level, we do have some interviews with some experts. We have done Enneagram 1 with Juanita. We did Enneagram 2 with Hunter. We did Enneagram 3 with Sean. We did Enneagram 9.
With Marlena Graves.
So we're halfway through there in terms of those are deep dives with somebody who actually is an Enneagram type, talking about their Enneagram type. And so if you want to hear what's often called the narrative tradition, you want to jump into hearing somebody who sees the world the way that you do. We're halfway through that series. Hopefully we can finish that series this year.
Yeah.
But if all of this is just way too nerdy, we of course have our pop culture stuff, which is very easy to access.
Yeah, if this stuff is too nerdy, then we have other stuff that's way more nerdy.
If it doesn't geek out quite enough. If you haven't actually gone through our catalog, we did deep dives into the characters of Star Wars, of the MCU, of Jurassic Park. There was a fantastic sports documentary called The Last Dance about the 96, 97, I believe, Chicago Bulls.
97, 98? I have no
90.
idea. I'm the wrong person to ask. It's
It's
somewhere in the 90s. I remember that.
It's the Jordan team. Actually, I suppose they went through the Bulls from the 80s all the way through. It was backstory. Sure. Lots to like in those in terms of just looking at characters. You know what? All right, so you want to hear something fun, Teach?
Yes.
So we just turned on the What Do People Listen To icon in terms of our podcasting work.
Sure.
The most popular download for us recently actually comes from the Villains series.
Ooh.
And it was the Joker.
Yes.
Actually, if you're a 7 and you want an expert treatment, that actually may be my favorite episode that we've done.
Really good.
I may have said this already. It's slow getting off the ground. I listened to it the other day. Joel Stabile is just over there kind of doing his thing, not worrying about stuff. That dude knows some stuff.
Yeah, he does. And he also offers it's really easy to sort of bunch a lot of 7s together. Like it's really easy to stereotype 7s. And Joel sort of forces you to undo that stereotype a bit and expand. Like there's more going on to 7s than the typical treatment of them. And he brings a lot of that to the table. I like it.
Villain series, we put a ton of work into to expose, I suppose to circle back around, to expose the shadow side of our Enneagram type. So I guess our you know what, TJ?
What?
Our podcast is called Around the Circle, so that's
true.
probably a good place to end.
That makes
Our
sense.
little, hey, check out our stuff. These are some great places to go. Hit us up on Twitter or Instagram with your thoughts, questions, just we like connecting to people. We don't get a chance to connect to people all that often, so you'll get a lot of FaceTime if you reach out. But that's what I got to start off the new year. This year, off mic, TJ and I had the discussion of whether 2022 was going to be any good. What say you?
I'm neutral. I'm here for it if it is good, and I do not have high hopes.
I'm so optimistic right now. Like, I think that all these things are breaking through.
Yeah, good.
Idealist that
so.
I am.
That'd be nice. It's great.
How, TJ, seriously, how could humanity make bad decisions in this coming year?
I don't think we have time for that.
Oh, you know what else is fun? If you've gotten this far, we presently are the only Enneagram podcast in the world that has stars on Spotify. Ooh. We have 11 people who have actually given us the stars.
11.
So if you're one of those people, man, we love the hell out of you because nobody else is giving love to any of those other folks on the Spotify. We're way behind on iTunes, but you know,
it's fine. iTunes is they just added it to Spotify. So
I mean, if you were to say which one's the future, iTunes or Spotify, which one would you say?
That's tricky, man. I don't know. Apple is so big. That's hard to say.
I'm putting my chips on green. Well, that's what I got. Well, hey, it would mean the world to us if you gave us some stars on either iTunes or Spotify now. Reviewing our podcast is always really helpful, and you can find all of our stuff at aroundthecircle.org. We have also moved a lot of fun stuff onto Patreon, and well worth checking us out there, and that's also linked at aroundthecircle.org. But the best thing you can do, share this episode or this podcast itself with somebody that you love. Jump in with somebody else. This is inner work that needs to be done in community. Isn't that right?
Yep. That's what the Godmother says.
It's the word on the street. That's what I got. You got anything else?
I got nothing.
He's TJ Wilson. He's officially awesome, and he is going to be super surprised at how amazing 2022 is.
That'd be great.
Yeah, sign me up. I'm Jeff Cook. Who you aren't isn't interesting. Be who you are. You'll set the world on fire.
Morning will come, burning will